still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chants, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chants, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew. Born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue, through the silence and the roar. Still blue, even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shed and crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chants, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew. Born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue.
Yes, good people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome for another edition of the Blue Morning Show. I do hope you're all doing well. We do have a few items lined up to talk about today. Not a lot, yeah, but you know how we operate. We keep it interactive here, not just about the panelists, not just about those in the live chat. We bring heads together to come to a sensible conclusion. So yeah, welcome to the discussion today. I do hope you're all doing well. We'll talk about Deinner Ordóñez. We talk about Jamie Gittens. We talk about Estevão Willian and Kenan Yildiz. And as the show progresses, if anything new emerges, be rest assured this will be the first place you'd hear about it. And if we get done on time, which I want us to, if we have time enough before the women's game start, I think we'd go for a bit of news hunting before we call it a day. We do go news hunting. That's because we don't have enough items lined up to talk about. But that's by the way, we will start addressing the items we have lined up immediately. Not too many, but important topics. The first one, I'm quite sure some of you have heard about it already. Jamie Gittens. We're not sure. I'm not sure about the severity of the injury in question, but let's read what the report says. The report reads, Gittens linked off in the England's under-21s 2-0 victory over the Republic of Ireland on Friday. And the second paragraph reads, however, Sunsport can reveal that Gittens has reported no issues with the knock this morning. He will travel with the squad for Tuesday's game in Slovakia. We don't want to. I don't want a situation where this gets aggravated. I mean, just leave him be. I'm quite sure England have all the players that are capable of coming, replacing him, doing an equal good job or maybe an even better job. I don't, I don't want a serious setback for this kid now that he's starting to look confident whenever he's selected or whenever he comes onto the pitch. It'd be bad for him to suffer a setback and have all the players that he's vying, you could say, is competing against cement their places in the team. But that's by the way. So let's see what Chelsea fans have to say onto this particular report. Mickey John, my friend, says that they should let him come home. See, they say great minds think alike. The same thing I'm thinking. Don't risk it. Once again, I'm quite sure England, they have numbers in that position. They have good enough players, good players that can come and do an equally good job or maybe an even better job. So why risk it? and players will almost all the time, as long as they can still walk. If you ask them, they tell you, yeah, they're ready. They're not feeling anything. They're ready to play the next match and play 90 minutes. So Papo here says next time start with. However, Sunspot can reveal that Gittens has reported no issues with the knock this morning. I think he used a quote there. Okay, so but let's see. The next comment from a Chelsea fan says, "I hope it's nothing serious because he is starting to find his fit." That echoes my. I don't know if it'd be correct to say sentiment. With the fact that I don't want a setback for him, and now that he's starting to look more confident on whenever he gets the chance to start, or maybe he comes on to play. I don't want that to happen. He should stay on the bench, please. Getting injured in an under 21 match must slap. Okay. Oh no, get this. Okay, nothing else. Not in the position that I'm concerned about, but I'm concerned for the player himself, honestly. So let's move on to the next item. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We are still on the 3 likes. I know we should be doing a lot better than that. In total, we have about 6 people following the show on YouTube. We should have at least 5 likes. But I don't blame you guys for having streamed consistently. And when we stream in a vertical format, usually it's difficult to garner good enough likes. But yeah, just double tap your screen, and you no need to press and hold your screen to like the video. But if you want to see all the bells and whistles, press and hold your screen for just about a second. Then you see the bells and whistles, comment, like, share, and all the options. But please help us garner more likes. So finally, this year, front of shirt sponsor, or FOS, like many people like to say it. Chelsea are close to announcing a new front of shirt sponsor. The Oracle deal is reportedly tied to broader investment by Clear Lake Capital, and the deal is expected to last until the end of the season. Oracle owner, I think Larry Ellison. I'm not sure how you say his last name. But I'm probably going to be a lot of money. And I've seen people asking the question, why have we found it difficult? Why are we finding it difficult to get a front of shirt a sponsor? And I think I remember responding on one occasion that we just don't want to undersell ourselves. If we were that much in a hurry to get a front of shirt sponsor, now we could have taken the Allianz deal, which was I think 4 point something or 5 million euros a year. But we felt like that's not good enough, and I like that mindset. We don't want to undersell. I don't know if that's the correct language there. We don't want to sell. You can say such deal for a club like Chelsea for cheap. I think usually when you do that, you don't. It'd be difficult for you to get a good deal next time. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I'm not sure why this is flickering again, and I don't like it. The last time it happened, it was difficult to fix. I just don't know why that's happening. I'm not using green screen. Uh, Using you could say an authentic background. I'm not sure why that is still happening. So let's see what Chelsea fans have to say. Davey here says nothing long term then. And it's not, I don't know, I get it. It's revenue. But at the same time, people sound as if without a front of shirt sponsor, uh we're not going to win trophies or win games. I've seen some say something. I think it was Nizaki Sela that said something to the effect of it being shameful that we're not able to secure a deal. And I go back to saying that if we're that much in a hurry to get one, I think we'd have one for long term right now. Yeah, but we're changing the way we operate. We feel like we're value. You can say we're more valuable than one being that what's being offered to us. Imo here says, so what's the problem with landing a deal with those top guys? Are we asking too much? I don't know, but I'm just going to stick with. I see it as us not wanting to you say not sell that the sponsorship would not agree a low. What's most accurate language to use there? Not to undersell, maybe term, maybe. I think maybe the most accurate way to define that. We don't want to do that, and I'm all for it. We don't want, because yeah, in a hurry, undersell our value, and then when you do that, it's usually difficult to correct, and not exact, especially not after winning. Not winning the conference league and then the club world cup. For me, in my opinion, the biggest club football trophy in the world. Which one is Oracle? The software company is, I think, that the accurate definition. Um, okay, why do short term? Probably they want to do that. They don't want to be tied to a deal for long term, and one that they feel that they're not making enough from it. Moises Caicedo, I'm guessing the fan account, has a comment that reads: Chelsea Football Club is preparing to reveal a landmark of front of shirt sponsorship agreement with Oracle valued at 45 million per season, which will end the sponsorship free status of their 25-26 kit. Okay, this got me confused now because it's contradicting what I've seen, because some are suggesting that it ends, it's just a one season thing. It doesn't go beyond the 25-26 season. Plenty Art says an interesting move from Chelsea. Looks like a short term front of shirt deal, while Clearlake Capital ramps up their broader investment plans. I'm not concerned. These guys are smart, and as I've always told people, they didn't become billionaires by being dumb. They know exactly what they're doing, and I don't agree for a second that, yeah, that we're finding it difficult to find one. We just don't want to undersell our value, if that makes sense. Chelsea Pose says, I am glad but confused. The short term deal with Damak was understood, while another short term deal is the number that unrealistic. I don't think that's the case. And real talk, Manchester City, I don't want to listen to you. You're not a Chelsea fan. So let's go to the next item we have lined up here. So this is Vince's opinion, but it references Tariq Jaw's goal for England. He left-footed thunderbolt shot there. Not easy to stop. It went into the back of the net. So Vince is saying, okay, Vince retweeted Mr. Chelsea Lad's tweet, which reads, I used to say this, and I will say it again. Tyreek Judge's strength is his shooting. He doesn't even have a weak foot. I haven't paid attention, but I believe you. Another game, another goal for England. England doesn't have many left wingers, though. All right, so let's see what Chelsea fans, what they have to say under this particular report here. I want to get this done as soon as possible so that, yeah, I can watch the women's game. I've started watching the games of late, following them, at least if I don't have them on TV. Ikuku here says Tyreek Judge is a raw talent, no doubt. I will always, I wish all the best. Okay, I wish all the best with his striking abilities. However, I am of the opinion that Chelsea should cash out on him in the general transfer window. He's not a striker, and clearly we have a better winners at Chelsea, and he is not. Okay, that's your opinion. But here's the thing: the kid himself wants to leave. He doesn't want to stay. If you haven't heard, um, could have sold him. I think we just didn't reach agreement with the clubs that were interested in purchasing him on a permanent. And the kid, he's made it clear himself that he wants to leave. And I see a name from someone that I believe could be from my place, Mr. Ugu Slow. Although Ugu, not you could say not specific to people from Enugu State. There are people from Anambra State and other Igbo states that go by the name Ugu, but it's a very common Nkanu name. So, Mr. Ugu Slow, more importantly, thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. I appreciate you. If you don't mind letting me know where you're from, I'd really appreciate that. But it looks like that comment isn't from That particular comment isn't on YouTube, but because I'm not seeing it on the main screen here. So this one here, um, Dana, and I hope I pronounced that first name correctly. I knew nothing about him until the news emerged that we've signed him. That's when I started paying attention to what people are saying. Expats also online talking about him. They say he's such a talent. Is that level that yeah you should see content creators and big accounts and X waxing lyrics about him, but Vince made it clear that he knew nothing about him until the news emerged that we've signed him. But it looks like the key is the real deal. He's 6'2", I've heard. But this reads Deinner Ordóñez to Chelsea. Here we go. That's Vince quoting the transfer guru himself, Fabrizio Romano. Agreement reached today for 16-year-old talented defender from Independiente. How do you pronounce the last part of it? The latter part of the name of that club, Independiente de Val. I'm not sure. Let me just stick with Independiente to join Chelsea project. And I've seen subsequent reports that suggest he joins the club in 20. Is it 28 or so when he turns 27, 28 when he turns 18. So what? Let's see. I did a bit of research so that I'll be able to educate those of you that, like me, knew nothing about him until it was announced that we signed him. So Dana O'Donnell's Chelsea's next South American gem. Chelsea have officially secured an agreement for 16-year-old Ecuadorian defender Dana O'Donnell from Independiente, one of the best young development clubs, and that's you could say. I think it'd be correct to say Independiente is a talent factory. Yeah, one of the best youth development clubs in the world. This is the same academy that produced talents like Moises Caicedo, Kendrick Pies. There are others too. So the pedigree is serious. Yeah, it's like an organization. You can say hiring a talent from you can say a good a graduate from a good college, maybe for lack of a more relatable term there. What makes Dana Ordóñez special? A left-footed defender with composure beyond his age. If you see clips of him, videos of him, you see how you say something we've seen from Josh. That sort of composure on the ball doesn't never moved by a number of players he has around him. He has such quality. I'm not sure how he compares to Josh Achampong, but he has that sort of composure that we've seen from Josh Achampong. So, and also strong ball carrying ability, aggressive duels, and excellent anticipation, which is very key. If you're going to be a world class defender, you'd be able to anticipate the next move from by the opponent. So yeah, you position yourself and be at the right place at the right time. Sometimes you don't you don't need to run a lot to break up opposition play because you're able to anticipate their next move. So yeah, he's such a talent, and then has represented Ecuador at youth level with standout performances. I haven't seen that record myself. I have to look at it. Fits perfectly into Chelsea's long-term rebuild strategy of signing late teenagers early. You could call that catch them young. And pardon me, I have to take a sip of my coffee before I lose my voice. So he looks like the real deal. So let's look at things from the Chelsea project angle. So this is another move driven by the talent stacking model. Secure the best 16 to 18 year olds globally before they explode, and that saves the club tons of money. So Independiente players have a high success rate adapting to Europe, and Chelsea Scout have been monitoring him for months. Yeah, because yeah, the way the news emerged showed, yeah, they didn't just start. You could say scouting him a few days ago. What fans should know about him, or maybe what you, the listeners, should know about Dana Ordóñez is that, yeah, definitely. you won't see him don a Chelsea shirt except for eight photo edits until I think 27, 28. I've read subsequent reports, so to speak. I can't speak this morning on X that stated clearly that he joined the club 27, 20 around 2027, 2028 a season. But of course, yeah, it's common sense. He's still 16. Um, so Chelsea fans, let us know if you're excited about Deinner Ordóñez. Do you prefer these long-term youth investments, or do you want more ready-made stars? But here's something you should bear at the back of your mind: football have changed from a financial perspective. Irrespective of how much you have, there are limits to how much you can spend. Yeah, that to the ratio of your income as an entity or as a club, if that's the language you prefer. So I think it makes sense that we are signing these players at a very young age, 16 to 18, and then put them on a program, watch how they develop, and I don't think we've failed so far, in my opinion. I think, but if you ask a few Chelsea fans, they tell you, yeah, we failed. A lot of people that mentioned the kid that now plays with Cristiano Ronaldo. I liked him and I thought he was going to stay. Some of them we just had to let them go because the truth remains when you have stacks of talent, when you have a stack of talents, you there's no way you can accommodate all of them. You select the best of the bunch and let go the others. In such something, it's business also more importantly. In such something, clauses such as a sell-on clause, a buyback clause, in case they turn out uh, to be better than those you've decided to keep and let them go out alone or sell them. So it's a risk worth taking, in my opinion, because it simply means in the in the future, we will not be spending a lot of money to get the sort of talents we want. It'd be a case of, in most cases, we'll be able to just plug and, like you say, get players out on loan, or maybe buy back players we sold with a buyback clause or something like that. And look at Andrea Santos; that's a very good example, for instance. So now, yeah, quick takeaway. Donis is young, he's fearless, and comes from a factory. Yeah, I like that. From a factory of elite talent. If Chelsea are right about him, we may be talking about a future first team defender in a few years. I think here's the thing: we're right, if you ask me. The question is, will he reach his potentials? Because we've seen we've seen talent not reach their potentials. Yeah, but let's see how this pans out. Good signing for us. It doesn't hurt to, you could say, to snap up such a good talent, and then you know what's the language I'm looking for? Put them on a very good program to ensure they continue to develop. Um, but in 2 years' time, we'll find out. So let's see what Chelsea fans are saying in the under this report. And Imo almost always commenting in everything about on everything about Chelsea. But I like that though. I don't know why, but if you blink fast, you will see Lamine Dana. Okay, when he comes in, I'd like Maresca to try him as a forward. Let's observe something. That's not gonna happen. I've read this particular comment before and I liked it a lot. So he reads Operation Catch Them Young, which you could argue why. I think I did say something to that effect while I was talking about Adonis, probably because subconsciously my brain pulled something from this particular comment from this user Irex that I read. So he says, catch them young. He says, imagine clubs where doing this then we would have seen Messi and Ronaldo play for the same club. If Barca tries to annoy us, we would sign new players that will play for us on that day. Okay, that's an interesting one. With some aspect of it, I don't really get. Liverpool wanted him. that brings to mind the fact that there are other top European clubs that were interested in signing Deinner Ordóñez, but we were able to get the deal across the line, probably because we have a youth project, so it'd be easy to uh, tell a potential signing, look at that, look at Chelsea, look at how many young players we have. So you get to play. We're not signing you for the sake of signing you. And the truth remains, if you were a teen, you'd be coming immediately and you start playing. So I think it's easy actually to sell our project to these talents, in my opinion, because yeah, we can point at the young players we have, how well they're doing, and how much you can say how they play. They don't sit on the bench. So here, AB, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this particular morning. Coach, this kid is already ready. His only barrier is his age. Wow. So you know him that well. Tell me more. I knew nothing about him until the news emerged that we've signed him. And then I went on X. A lot of people were singing him praises. And as Jan would like to say, Jan from Football Therapy, waxing lyricals about him. Uh, but I've seen clips. He does look very composed on the ball, just like Josh Achimpong. And situational awareness also excellent from what I've seen, which is important because if you're going to be a defender, you need to be able to read the game, anticipate the opposition's next move, and then be able to cut off their, break up their play. We just don't have a youth project. We have a winning youth project. I think that's the most, you can say, accurate way to to define our project. Irrespective of what anybody thinks, I think our project. A lot of people have come to realize that yeah, we do have a good project. Yeah, we still do need time though to get where we're not quite where I believe we can be, but we're getting there even quicker than a lot of people had anticipated. So this one, I think, just probably wants responses, saying another minor coming 2028. The future is bright, according to Alfred Hugo. I agree. Let's see, but White wait until 2028, duh, because he's 16. And just like AB said in the chat here, this kid is already ready, but his age, again, is the only barrier. You can, even if it comes now, I don't think we'll be able to register him. He'd join the academy. So I think he'd be better off staying there, continue his development until yeah, 2028 comes around. And the good thing is that yeah, you can say they produce players that they don't struggle. They adapt easily to European football, just as I've mentioned before. Gelson Luz here says, look at the success of Moises Caicedo also from Independiente. This academy produces technically gifted, mentally strong players. Ordonez is joining a project with a proven path. Exactly. That's maybe he just said what I already said better than I did. With a proven path to the first team, irrespective of how young you are. As long as you were able to register, you get to play. This is a calculated move for sustained success. That's our project. That's basically the Clear Lake project. They want a sustained the project. They don't want a patchy. They don't want patchy success. They don't want a situation where after 2 years we start again, we win this year, win next year, and then it'd be a while before we win again. They want young players that are good, keep them together for a long period of time. Once they click, they become a winning machine, and we win consistently. Yeah, so they want sustained success. They don't want the successes to come in patches. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand. Some, it maybe after we won the Conference League and the Club World Cup, that was when that they started realizing that, yeah, we do know what we're doing here. It was never something that they want to win, but they want sustained success. They just don't want to win today and not win tomorrow. But unfortunately, many Chelsea fans, mob mentality, and I don't want to go into that because usually when I do, it annoys me really. The language is being thrown around senselessly. Then when you ask them what they mean by that, only a few, we could say, will have ready as responses for you. Coach, it reminds me of Jonathan Woodgate, scruffy, thin, but a brilliant defender. Wow. So you do know him that well. Once again, I knew nothing about him until the news emerged that we signed him. But from the clips I've watched, I like his how calm he is on the ball. And just like Josh Archimpong, irrespective of how many opposition players he has on him, doesn't move him. Just finds a solution. So I'm happy. Let's see. I don't know you, but I trust our sporting directors. I think it's about time we started trusting them. They've proven that they know what they're doing. But unfortunately, the moment we start losing games or we go through a rough patch, people will turn against them again. Even those that at some point praised them. The way Chelsea is signing under 18 now, okay, I'm not sure what you have in mind there. All right, let's move on to the next item. I'm happy we signed the kid. Hopefully, he's able to reach his potential. So, this Kenan Yildiz. How do you pronounce his last name, actually? Okay, the rumors have refused to go away. And I think it was 3 months ago. I thought actually he'd already signed a new contract. It turns out that was false. This reads: Kenan Yildiz's future at Juventus is in serious doubt. Is in serious doubt with contract talks between him and the club put on hold after months of negotiations. Chelsea remain interested and are expected to return next summer. Here's the thing: I've stopped asking the question, or start you say trying to what was the language I'm looking for. I've stopped questioning Chelsea, my club's interest in certain players. As long as you're good, you're good. And that's what big clubs do. Irrespective of how many good players you already have within your ranks, if you see one that can make you even better, you go for it. Even if bringing in that one player will eventually lead to one of the good ones you have at the club to leave, you do it. Even if it means that it will eventually lead to you deciding to sell one of the players that you already have at your club, you do it. That's what good that big clubs do, and what Chelsea. So if signing Yildiz will make us even better and leads to one of you to say one of our already familiar names leaving, I don't really care, honestly. Give me 1 second here. All right, so I like him a lot. I know we have numbers in that department, but it doesn't really matter. We're Chelsea. So we do what big clubs do. As long as again the club wants him, it simply means the manager wants him to, or maybe the scouts see him as a good option for us. Get him. I really don't care. And the lines here says, if we are to sign him, then Gittins is leaving. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into the debate of who leaves. Should we succeed in signing Kenan Yildiz? And when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. So, but my main point is that I've stopped questioning the club's decision in terms of signing good players, and he's an excellent player. That eventually, I think, if he continues in his current trajectory, he'd eventually become a world class player. So we do what big clubs do, get good players. And AB says, Coach, have you seen Disasi looking fitter? I think he's lost some weight. I think he's lost some weight too. But here's something I want to say quickly. Um, Chances are he lost some weight not because he wanted to, because the sort of situation he's found himself in is, for me, strong enough for one to lose weight. It's like a heartbreak. When you experience a heartbreak, irrespective of whether you eat everything you have in your fridge uh, every day, you still lose weight, except if you're not heartbroken. That's not normal weight loss because he's a bulky individual. He's built that way. So for him to have, I saw that, and I did ask the question whether it was just me or whether he did lose some weight. He did, but chances are his situation led to him losing such weight. But here's the and when we heard that he trained with the first team, and the fact that he said something to the effect of still being hopeful to still be part of the Chelsea squad, to be still be maybe reintegrated into the first team squad. I said for him to have said that he wouldn't just say that because he feels like he's good enough to still get a chance to rep Chelsea at the first team level. That, remember, we still, one of the directors that signed him still works for Chelsea, and we have a serious situation in that department. And there's something he has that not a lot of our current centre backs have. I think he's better than all of them aerially. Actually, the only issue for me is that, you could say, primary school level mistake when he faces slightest of pressure from an opposition player. He makes a lot of mistakes. Simple, you can say, just panics and makes some silly mistakes that shouldn't be coming from a player that is experienced as he is, and definitely something that I don't see changing right now. So, if anything, if the manager decides to accommodate him in the squad, it'd be with the, you can say, he probably knows, again, will make some adjustment to what's the language I'm looking for, to conduit, mask, maybe to mask his deficiency, to maybe find a way to never leave him in a situation where he'd face serious pressure from the opposition and then end up making silly mistakes. And it wasn't a one-off thing. I paid attention to it and realized that was why when we discussed the arrival of Enzo Maresca, we knew that probably, definitely, he was going to be on the chopping blocks. So again, if the manager feels like, yeah, he can come in handy, I think he can. Defending it good against those teams with long throw and all those nonsense. You can say, I won't call it nonsense. It's a strategy, and if it works for anybody, why complain about it? So I'd say, I mean, if he was solve a purpose for us, why not reintegrate him? We still pay him, irrespective of whether he's part of the squad or not. So it just doesn't make sense. If he can help us be in the lineup and help stop the long throws and or set piece situations, yeah, win aerial duels for us. I think that's a plus. Just find a way to conduit or mask that deficiency of him, of you making primary school level mistakes during, again, when he faces the slightest of pressure from opposition players. Coach, Jesus Christ. I haven't I haven't said that. Okay. Okay. 80 Cent, coach, are you trying to say, are you saying he's trying to change career? Modeling, you mean? I know you I know you definitely. I know, I know you get my point. But of course, of course you oh my god. Okay, news hunting time. The women's game will start in 5 minutes time. I want to watch it. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe this. All right. I promise you guys we'll be streaming consistently from now on. Missed yesterday show, had internet connection, and I thought we needed an engineer from AT&T to come fix it. It turns out my kids were trying to, because yeah, they were grounded, not allowed to play the PlayStation. They were trying to fix it, and in the end pulled something out. But I was able to sort it out, so that's why we're even streaming this morning. So, but something else I want to say is that YouTube, they're rolling out a feature which will allow content creators to stream in both landscape and portrait formats, and that will enable us cater for both uh, variations of followers that we have. All right, let's see here. That's new. I didn't see this. This reads Chelsea are tracking teenager Felipe Moraes and have sent a 10 million euros. That's 8.6 million pounds offer to Cruzeiro to test the waters. Okay, I don't know him. Probably a revelation. The just is it concluded yet? The under 17. That used to be one of my favorite. You could say global football competitions to follow. I'm not sure what happened to me. All right. Everton's former chief Kit, okay, says I think Estevão has something special. Lamine Yamal has proven to be consistent, and I think that Estevão got that same feeling for me. I don't want to get into the debate of comparing Estevão and Lamine Yamal. They have a lot in common, but I know they're different. I know they're different, but I haven't paid attention how they differ. They're both into that cutback shoot with the left foot thing. They both do it a lot. But that's, by the way, be in sport on Esteva's performance against Senegal. He got a goal, by the way. He got a very fine finish, instinctive take. Didn't hesitate. I know a lot of people. One used to play for Chelsea that had he been the one that got at the end of that ball, he would have tried to dribble or maybe try unnecessarily cut back in when he could have. You could say when the best option will always be to take the shot right away, and he did, and it was an excellent finish. I saw the highlight. So what a player we've signed here, and I'm quite sure Chelsea fans are probably very happy. Um, yeah, Carlo Ancelotti, the Don Carlo on Estevão Willian, he said I was pleasantly surprised by Estevão's talent. He showed composure, speed, and a natural instinct for spaces. Near goal, for spaces near goal, Chelsea are lucky to have him. See that thing we talked about? One of the goals he scored against Brazil, he was on the line, goal line, and had to do a bicycle kick or overhead kick, whatever you want to call it. And people were saying, you could say, were complaining that he overdid it. What he had to react instinctively, and I did explain to people that that particular goal, had he tried to maybe just trap the ball before trying to put it in the back of the net, chances are the opposition defender could have cleared the ball off the line. But he had to shoot instinctively, which is something that we actually Chelsea fans were complaining about. Noni Madueke and what's his name, and Nicholas Jackson. They both couldn't do that. They almost always would take you can say a first touch before trying to shoot. But the key, Estevão, on that occasion, not the goal he scored yesterday, had to go for a bicycle kick or overhead kick, whatever you want to call it. That's instinctive thinking. And once again, I'm going to say this. Had he tried to control the ball before scoring, chances are the opposition defenders could have cleared the ball off the line. So this part, what reminds me of that is this thing that Ancelotti said here, and the natural instinct for spaces near goal. Chelsea are lucky to have him. Forget about the lucky part. We've all lucky the latter part of that particular uh, report, a comment from Don Carlo. We've always known, yeah, how lucky we've been to have him. Because yeah, the most talked about player at the time when we signed him was what's his name, Endrick, and I told people at the time I think we're signing the better player because yeah, he's small, finesse, more. You could say Endrick more of a power player than he is. I think how you could argue how. Let's just stick with that, honestly. But I'm just happy this kid plays for Chelsea. All right, what else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. And look at that. We still have this other kid, Quenda, coming. Yep, Giovanni Quenda. And this is, I think, Vince's opinion, or is he quoting anybody here? Quenda is still in the fridge. While the buzz around him isn't at Estevão's level, he's actually close to Estevão. I think I don't know. I think it's at this point you could argue. I think it'd be correct to say Quenda is just more physical than Estevão, but both can shoot. I haven't taken the time to pay attention to how they differ, but I'm just happy both are Chelsea players. The second paragraph reads, "It's good that the spotlight and the pressure aren't on him, so I guess he will surprise a lot of people, especially rival fans." I don't think so. I think I think people know how good he is. I think probably the difference at the moment is that yeah, he's currently not playing for Chelsea. I think the moment he arrives, yeah, the focus will be on him too. But my oh my, we are loaded, and I've always told people that look, we might at the time that the immediate my concern at the time was the immediate future of the club, but long-term future so bright you need glasses to look at it so you don't lose your sight, honestly. And they want more importantly they want a sustained success. They don't want the successes in patches. And I realized that early on, even though I wanted them to sign more experienced players so that we can start winning immediately. But I paid attention to the reasons that they were driving their change in approach, recruitment approach, realizing that football has changed significantly from a financial perspective. And I'm going to repeat something that I've said 1,000 times here once again, that irrespective of how much you have as a club, there are limits to how much you can spend. I think it's measured to the ratio of your income. Even at that, there's still limits. There's FFP, the local one. There's also no, the local one is PSR. Then the European one is FFP. There are tons of restrictions. You can't spend just because you have it. So I was able to, did realize early on that yeah, they know exactly what they're doing. They're just being proactive. And I think if you pay attention, all the clubs are actually adapting the model. Yeah, not signing established players still have places. They still have a place in the game, or duh, they do, but they become more and more expensive, and not every club will be able to afford established players. So, but what we're doing is signing the best emerging talents in global football, creating development. I don't know, which will be creating a program for their development, and then show they're still playing, and then if they prove that they can perform at the highest level, then plug and play. So, but that's by the way. Estevão and Ancelotti here. Let's see what we have here. I try to maximize everything he teaches me. He's a guy with many titles and a really important curriculum. That's one of the words that I've never been able to pronounce correctly. Curriculum. So I try to learn as much as I can from him to continue evolving in football. I thank God for putting him in my life because he is a spectacular manager. I just don't want to expand that. But this kid is so humble too. He's so humble. But that's fine. Keep dropping the likes. I'm assuming people the likes do go a long way. 6 likes and 7 people following the show. We're continuing news hunting, but I'll be paying attention to the women's game. If I see a goal, I'll let you know. But I really want to round the film, watch the games itself. I don't know if I can get it on my TV. Still zeros. 6 minutes into it, it's still zeros. U.S. International Thompson. Alisa, what a player. She's on the pitch. I just wanted to confirm that she's on the pitch. 1 second, please. All right, let's see. Shanks Estevão will be bigger than Palmer. It's a possibility. I don't want to debate that with you. They're both good players. And they have a lot in common, actually. Yeah, they're both, correct me if I'm wrong, they're both predominantly left footed, right? Yeah. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. God forbid, I'm not going to start comparing them. I'm just going to stick with, I'm happy. We're blessed to have Estevão, to have Cole Palmer, to have Giovanni Quenda, even Gittens that a lot of people don't respect. Even Ganacho. And then Ganacho, I think he's starting to show people that, yeah, it was never a mistake that we signed him. He's going to be, again, one of our best creators. And hopefully he gets goal. But I think he's going to get more assists than goals. Because if you see the way Maresca is utilizing him, he wants him to be putting the ball into the box in most cases. And yeah, he's proven a lot of people wrong. But here's the thing, I don't want to get into that debate. We're blessed. And I still think, I've heard people say, especially one of my friends in Calito, I've heard them say that Pies is probably going to be sold or something to that effect. I think Kendrick Pies will come back because he's such a talent. Traditionally, I think he has that. Again, for me, I see him as a 10. And I think he has that, all those qualities, has excellent vision. And Shanks, once again, thank you for the 30 Jews you've sent us. I appreciate that, my brother. Much love to you. Thank you for sending that. Even though I don't like you. Gittens is easy. You only need Itis to know he's not up to the standard. That is your opinion, and you're entitled to your opinion, and I respect that. And I'm gonna keep preaching that I'm actually happy we signed Gittens over the Ghanaian, this player of Ghanaian descent, Nico Williams, that plays for Spain. Nico Williams, because yeah, numbers. I know I tell a different story. First goal, Alyssa Thompson. I was just talking about her. She scored for a goal again. That's 2 goals in 2 games, right? Yeah, she scored against Arsenal. That lobbed finish that was delicious. Now she scored an excellent. I can't see this. I don't know what sort of goal she scored today, but I did see the Arsenal goal. Yeah. So Chelsea are 1 goal up, and for the US, and the goal by the US international. So here's the thing. I was happy that we signed them over Nico Williams. I know I test. Tells a different story, but numbers also tell a different story. But both can complement each other. Gittens is an excellent player. His start to life as a Chelsea player a bit shaky because he did come across at the time as if he lacked confidence, but he's improved over time. You will remember this conversation. I know a bad player when I see one, and I'll tell you. Happy day to you too, Constantine, Chelsea FC. Is this Dante? Okay, but this particular Constantine is with a K. Constantine Chelsea FC. Okay. All right. Uh Carlo Ancelotti on Estevão, he's a very talented player. He's able to show every game in Chelsea too, and doesn't need a lot of minutes to show his quality. Just put him on the pitch. He can play 5 minutes and he can show his quality. I think the Brazil national team is really lucky to have him. What a player! I mean, if Nema says, yeah, that I think this says he can, you points him out as the next big thing. Why question that? Yamal versus Esteva argument, I don't want to get into that. I just want Esteva to continue doing well. I, and Bohiston, I'm not going to talk about, I'm not concerned about pressure on him, but at the same time, it's important that we manage that because it can become an issue, in my opinion. Um, Carlo Ancelotti also says that Estevão has incredible amount of talent. It's a surprise at this it's a surprise at this level at this age. He's good at finishing, has a lot of magic, and he works very hard. And his thing, as good as he is, usually players as good as Estevão, usually they don't do. Again, you find them wanting from when you look at things from the defensive aspect of things. But in his case, he's able to track back and track back effectively. And here's something I've observed: he doesn't just I don't mean to, you can say, but it's a fact. You know how, Receptive is improved in that aspect. I don't know if any of you have seen Donna Madica trying to contribute defensively, how useless he comes across. You'd know that, yeah, he's been forced to do this and he's not able to do it and do it well. He might have improved that aspect of his game at Arsenal, but I don't know. At Chelsea, he was useless in terms of again his defensive contributions. But Estevão, when he tracks back, I've seen him on occasions called out passing lanes and was able to stop the pass from the opposition that could have left us vulnerable and maybe conceding goals. I've seen him on occasions caught a pass, you say, caught out passing lanes and also was able to recover the ball. So, and I did tell Dante the last time we talked about this. Maybe it's because he's able to read things, even though you can say from an offensive perspective, and be able to anticipate what the attacking player will most likely do next. Do next with the ball. He's that intelligent, and I'm a sucker for intelligent footballers. Those are one of the things that is how a player applies himself on the pitch is one of the things I pay attention to. More importantly, and I've seen that from him when he contributes defensively, he just doesn't run around like a headless chicken. He runs with intent, cuts out passing lanes, and in most cases stops the ball on its tracks. He's that good. And it's not easy for an attacking player to be able to you can say to find a defensive solution by seeing things from an attacking perspective. I think he does that, but that's a small opinion. And Shanks here says that Gittens has work rate and great attitude. He also tracks back and doesn't throw his hand in frustration like Neto, who acts like a baby. You just like I don't like you. Shanks, you're my bro, but I don't like you. I wouldn't trade. You could say I wouldn't even for that reason say, yeah, I don't want Neto at Chelsea anymore. He's one of the leaders now at the club. Even Chalobah is becoming more vocal. I need you to go watch what Chalobah did after when our players were celebrating. I think our was it third goal or second goal against Wolves. He's becoming again more vocal, and I think he's maturing. And I hope you can say he matures as a player. You can say he matures overall, not just as a leader, but his footballing ability also becomes more polished. He learns to read the game better than he does and not make silly mistakes when you expect him to just do the simplest of things to stop us from conceding goals. But it's good to see our players they're becoming more mature. Um, but we'll see. No. I'm not saying you are. We're just having a conversation, and you're entitled to your opinion. And saying that NATO, you could say, throws his arm up in frustration doesn't mean you're negative. It's an observation. I've seen that. I rewatch games a lot, and I remember one during the Club World Cup thing. He didn't even pay attention to the fact that James didn't see him. And had James seen him, it would have been a good opportunity to score one more goal on the day. But yeah, he went something like this. It can be frustrating, but I mean, it's something that happens in the moment. And I think I'm glad we have him. I wouldn't like us to lose him. He's one of the more mature players we have uh, on the team currently. And I you don't want to lose that, honestly. He's been good for us. And he can be on his day, he can be again selfless. And he's that sort of player that if the managers preferred tactics or maybe preferred approach against a particular team requires him to operate mainly as a wing back or maybe operate mainly as a left back. He does that without complaining. He was instrumental in us not conceding against PSG. There was one occasion where he was the one that nodded the ball down back to Sanchez, and our defenders were nowhere close. I think it was Hakimi that made that overlapping run, but he tracked him effectively, which you could say and you can say he has a tactical his tactical knowledge. I think is good to have. Yeah, his experience, tactical knowledge, and how he was able to effectively track PSG players on that left hand side on that day. I think we don't give him enough credit for them for how selfless he was on the day, because usually attacking players, they don't like it when you charge them to be heavily defensive on any given game. During again in any given game, and not do a lot attacking wise, because yeah, we had a lot of spaces. PSG left a lot of spaces for us to exploit, and you could argue had he operated as a traditional winger on the day, chances are he'd finished the game with one goal. But he sacrificed his traditional approach. He was selfless on the day, and I don't think we'll give him enough credit for how good he was on that day, honestly. Let's see. Bobby would agree if he was if he was with you. Okay, okay. Let's see. I get your argument, but no. Good coffee. Good coffee. Good coffee. All right, Wira is here. Wira, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding time to join the conversation. He says we need emergency depth for Colwell injury, and we're looking at 21-year-old James again, who we end up loaning out. Let me ask you this: if you don't want to be excited, that's up to you. We're being proactive. Why? I've explained this 1,000 times. Football have changed. Football has changed from a financial perspective. Irrespective of how much you have, you can spend as much as you want. That doesn't mean we're not looking to sign a center back. Yeah. So because we're looking to sign center back, if we see an opportunity to sign a good player, we shouldn't sign that player. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. So if you don't want to be excited, that's up to you. For me, I'm excited. We signed him. I'm excited. We're signing a few emerging talents that we've signed. That we signed again a few of the emerging talents that we've signed. If it doesn't work out, sell them. Yeah, but yeah, the signs are good for us. We've been quite lucky with the signs and signings. Actually, those that we've let go or maybe sold. It's because yeah, we can't keep them all. So I get you. I get your frustration, but excuse me, you're entitled to your opinion anyway, and I'm entitled to mine. Wira, much love to you, brother, and thank you for joining the conversation. All right, let's see. I appreciate you saying that, brother. All right, let's see. Carlo Ancelotti with Estevão Brazil has a guaranteed future. The amount of talent he has is incredible. I don't think anybody questions that. The kid is just phenomenal. Honestly. Big up to you too, Jay, my bro. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. Why are we stuck in 7 likes? We have 14 people following the show on YouTube. If yeah, I get it. Let's get a lot, at least 10. Let's get at least 10 likes. Just double tap your screen because we're streaming in a vertical format. And if you're on a small device, that will help. Unless Hato gets looked at as a Kukurea backup and this club, Brushkid, slots in for CB depth, I will find this as finding solution. I'm just saying, I know. I think we all know. I think we all know we cannot, because we need a CB and not go for a talent when we see one. We're able to do both at the same time. We just cannot sign a CB right now. And chances are we're putting in work on that. Or you can say we just and here's something else I've learned about again. Our current owners, they're no longer new owners. I think they found a way to keep most of our transfer activities under wraps. In most cases, you don't hear about our interest or again, us pushing to sign a particular player until we are on the verge of completing the deal. So don't worry, Wira. The signs are good. I've learned to trust them. Although sometimes when you look at our situation, it'd be difficult not to get frustrated. But I think we're good. You understand? So I get your point. Yeah, we have to, irrespective of whether we want to CB or not. We can't see such talent that Liverpool wanted him too, or done it. Liverpool wanted him. There are other clubs that wanted him too, but we were able to get the deal across the line. Why not? We can. You get the point. I hope Gittens is okay. I don't want to start reading non-emotic comments. He no longer plays for Chelsea, so I don't care what he says here. Let's see. See, so but if you read that, if you would get seriously mad at him because that will make you feel like he was never fully settled at Chelsea. He never liked Chelsea. The way he left, actually, we were still again participating in the Club World Cup, and he was busy talking with Ateta. Ooh, why would Baliba post this? And he's using he's using João Pedro's picture, and that reads, "Don't try to rush what God is taking time to prepare." So we know he's definitely going to leave Brighton, but this is not okay. He's still a Brighton player, isn't he? Did they move and I missed it? Yeah, and Vince is saying here the Believer guy hasn't been the same since he was linked to Manchester United. I wonder what's going on with him. Yeah, because probably frustrated the deal, you could say, didn't go through. I'm happy we backed this baller too. Anything new? Nothing new has emerged, but I might just refresh this page to see if anything new emerged as the show progressed. Jamie Gittens, yeah, another. But what we're hearing, there's an update. that it's nothing serious. But here's the thing: I'm gonna say something I said when I first read that report. Uh, I don't think it makes sense to risk him playing because players, as if they're not feeling pain, even sometimes when they still do feel pain, they tell you they're okay to play because they just want to be on the pitch. Except if that leg is broken or they are in so much pain that it'd be difficult to play with that measure of pain. If you get the point. So I'd say just send him home. I get it. I've seen a subsequent report that suggests that yeah, nothing too serious. That Gittens is fine. I don't care. Send him home. England, they have a lot of players. They have numbers in that department. They have players that can come and do an equally good job or an even better job. If I were a member of the Chelsea hierarchy, I'd give him a call. Say just let him go. Don't risk it. We already have plenty of injuries. We don't want one more player getting injured. You know, all right, let's try and keep the topics. Okay, you know what? We've addressed all the topics we have lined up here. So yeah, if you have anything, let's go. And by the way, the Dastan kid scored against Belgium. This kid remind me, even his build reminds me of Aguero. So let's see. Excuse my language, but Baliba is talking. Is it for us? I think it's. Would you say for us, or would you? I think Manchester United, or maybe more for us because yeah, he used a João Pedro's picture. We should sign him. He's actually good. I don't know, and I'm gonna say something I've already said. I'm not gonna ever question why we're signing any good player when we have uh, another good player. If the club feels like the player they're looking at will do better than the one we already have, I don't care. If it means that, yeah, should we succeed in signing that player in question, that one of our familiar names will end up leaving, I don't care. That's what big clubs do, honestly. And we were saying, I want to see this Club Bruges kid get minutes in cup games. If he featured for them in the Europa Champions League and one full season for first team, he's already he's ready to start. Um, he's ready to start cup games for us. If you're good enough, you're good enough. Age doesn't really matter. I remember Graham Potter saying that, but after saying that, he didn't even give the players opportunity to play. All right, uh, Gabriel might be out for the Chelsea game. Set piece FC lost a very general. He gets them goal, defends set piece situation very well. But I was shocked. Can you remind me the last goal that Sunderland scored against them? Wasn't he the one bullied? Wasn't he the one bullied? He was the one bullied, right? 1 second here. He was the one bullied him and the goalkeeper. But the guy that bullied them is what's his name again? A tank. They couldn't stop him. Um, yeah, I hope he misses that game. Leaving Club Rouge, who have given you 15 minutes, you would expect to be loaned out, right? Um, Again, everything comes down to the manager and how we sold them. the project. I'm not sure how what to make of that situation, honestly, but I get where you're coming from. But have we signed? Who you mentioned? Are you mentioning Joel Ordóñez? For depth purposes, yeah, exactly. And if you prove that you should be starting, then you get to start. Yeah, he was manhandled, manhandled by a Sunderland player. What's the guy's name? They he didn't stand a chance. Even the goalkeeper didn't stand a chance. The guy bullied them. I think you could argue the guy was heavy enough to lean on both him and his goalkeeper, and they weren't able to stop him to kick the ball into the net. Um, Takeaway: Gabriel and Arsenal still at least have the tools to stop us from winning. Ateta being fascinated with bossing possession. Is he really? I think Houston. I think you could argue. Let me look at what does the numbers tell us. You could argue they were lucky on that day actually against Sunderland. Yeah, let me look at that. Let me see what numbers tell us there. Oh, was that the guy's name? I couldn't stop laughing because yeah, they thought they're very physical and strong. The guy he seriously manhandled them. So let me find that Sunderland game. Saturday, Chelsea here. Where's Sunderland? Arsenal. That's the game I'm looking for. The numbers 2-2 draw. Statistics. Okay. You can say, yeah, not bad. I wouldn't say Arsenal were lucky not to have lost. Yeah. So they deserved something from the game. Yeah. Angel Panasia Ata. Nice to see you, bro. I hope you're doing well. And I hope your absence simply means that you've been busy. If that's the case, we're happy for you because bills don't pay themselves. Yeah, Adonis. Oh, okay. We haven't signed him yet, have we? The one we're looking at, maybe, and maybe if we sign him, it'd be for him to join the first team because, yeah, I'm seeing a situation where we'd let go one or two center backs and bring in two more. The one we're looking at, we need someone who can help us in January till May. Otherwise, a pre-agreement for him for next summer or for a permanent move. We'll see. We'll see. How old is he really? So this kid, I really like this kid. Scored the goal against Belgium. I think the game ended 1-1. Dastan. Every time I see his name, it reminds me of a particular epic movie. The setting for that particular movie around 1860 or so. Yeah, I think the setting also more like Asian settings or something like that. Dastan. Yeah, I remember that movie. Sat Pie. More likes, more likes. So, what's the women's game? How's it going? Let me check the result today. Ooh, 1-1 draw. Come on now, we need to win. I don't want to start having a conversation where I'd say every time Alyssa Thompson scores, we don't win games. To be honest, the Arsenal goalkeeper David Raya threw his own. I'm not reading this. I'm, I'm not reading this, Jay. He actually dodged it because he was the proximity was really, really close. So he dodged it, or maybe wasn't sure what to expect because, yeah, Gabriel was, you could say, kind of, I don't know if it'd be correct to say Gabriel was blocking him. I think it was you could say, a chaotic few seconds there. I did not expect him to concede such a goal. But yeah, I'm not, I'm not reading that. And I'm serious. Dang it. I'm not. Yeah, he did. Wira says if you play Pedro up top against Arsenal, the physical battle might still be lost because Mascara isn't a lightweight. I think the lap will be fully fit. Even match fitness will be nearly 100%, if not 100%. Not definitely not 100% match fitness. I think he will be fully fit, and João Pedro can be physical too. So they have a handful. I just want us to make sure we dominate the midfield. That's another thing, and pressure them into errors. And the lap will be fine. With the lap, I think that they're in trouble. Yeah, and the lab is also good at you could say orchestrating interplays, one twos, and all that. I know a lot of people you could say don't look beyond the physical aspect of his approach to know that yeah he has a lot to his game that people know. Shanks says some news, some new news. Okay, Ukrainian Usain Lightenberg is allegedly rumored to return and fight from the reserves. I refuse. Let me see. Read that again. From the reserves, I suggest we loan or sell him off to Serie A. We're not going to sell him. If we've been patient with him up to now, I don't think we'd look to sell him. We're not going to sell him. And every time we talk about him, I I I always go and check the website, and he's still listed as a Chelsea player. Because the truth is, if we don't want him, if we don't want him at the club, I think by now we'll be hearing that yeah we're looking to sell him, but we're not. We don't want to, not even to sell him. We're looking to cancel the contract and not pay. Maybe I don't know. I'm not sure we paid in full because if we paid them in full, I don't think Shakhtar uh, will be uh, uh, will be as concerned as they are because they're the ones making all the moves behind the scenes, trying to prove his innocence, hiring a lawyer to 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 argue that he knew nothing about what he ingested, blah blah blah. So I'm not sure, but we'll find out in due time. Ty, aren't you supposed to be hosting the women's show? 1-1 now. And as I've said, I don't want a situation where I start saying every time Alyssa Thompson scores, we don't win games. I hope we win this game. But Ty, big up, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well, my bro. Ty is cooking a lot of special stuff. Until I settle a lot of stuff properly, we'll also be releasing a lot of delicious short videos, 10 minutes, 12 minutes videos. I think by December, I think we'll start that. Um, but Ty is cooking a lot of special stuff you want to go check out right now. But Ty, nice to see you. More importantly, I do hope you're doing well. And Jay is saying no information on Palmer's recovery. Lots of talk that he will be back for the Barcelona game, but not seen him once. You could argue, um, had it not been the fact that we're actually to do well to a considerable measure in his absence, the manager knew that. Chances are he would have played a few more games actually, but because we have good cover for him, the club decided to yeah you know what don't play with it, don't risk aggravating the situation, take your time, recover fully, then come back. So I'd say yes, definitely. I think he's going to play against Barcelona because remember the last game he played, he was on the pitch until he was taken off. Whether he was the one that signaled to the bench to take him off, I don't know. But he started playing that game while carrying the injury in question. So I think what we're doing right now, you could argue something we've started with our under Enzo Maresca. We started doing it under Enzo Maresca. When a player, you could say, gets injured or is carrying a knock, we usually give them that time to recover fully. We don't rush them back to avoid risking aggravating the situation. So I think Palmer will be ready for the Barcelona game. You could argue we're trying to not because of short term gains risk compounding already injury list. We want to give them time to recover and then reap the long term gain. So I think that's how I see it. Had it not been the fact that we have good cover for him, I think yeah he would have played a lot more games that he played already this season. Hello from London, TJ Signature Services. Thank you for joining us from London, the home of our beloved club. I appreciate you finding time to join the conversation. Thank you so much, TJ. I hope you're doing well. If this is your first time here, Mr. TJ, feel at home, express yourself. Here, your opinion matters. I respect your opinion. You respect mine. If we at any time I agree, fine. If we don't agree, I'm open-minded to learn from you, and hopefully you're open-minded to learn from me, or at least listen to me. But welcome, feel at home, express yourself. Here, your opinion matters. Let's see. Shank says that the lab has been underwhelming. Okay, if you're judging by the games he's played, how many games has he actually played for us? At the Club World Cup, he wasn't bad. He was good. Could have scored 2 goals against PSG in that final. But you could say it'd be correct to say he was unlucky. Underwhelming for a player that just returned from a long, you could say, who's been, you could say, out for a while. I don't think that's correct. He's an excellent signing. He wasn't my first choice, but I found myself on occasions joining, you could say, the mob on certain campaigns until, yeah, in most cases, but I like the fact that I'm able to sometimes take a step back and look at the situation, come to a sensible conclusion, and then do the right thing. He's actually an excellent signing, and he will come good. The lab at Chelsea, as I've told people, plug and play. He's played with Cole Palmer. They played how many games in total? I can't quite remember, and he scored good number of goals. And for Ipswich Town that struggled in the Premier League, he scored I think 12 goals or so for them, plus a few assists. He's good, and people don't give him credit enough given how good he is on the ball. Because yeah, the focus is almost always on the physical aspect of his game. So I'm not concerned really. Why do most of these new players? So I was reading this. It says, okay, why do most of these new players all need time and patience? Chelsea fans naturally don't have time and patience. We require a finished product. I have never seen any new signing, hardly ever. It does, sometimes some hit the ground running, but even those that did hit the ground running, if you paid attention to their start to life as a Chelsea player, uh, there are aspects of their games that weren't at the level that, again, it was before we signed them, but eventually picked up. Not all of them. Some have joined and they've heard they've had a perfect start to life as Chelsea players. Eden Hazard slipped and people were laughing at him. I think he was it a slip or something, or miscontrolled the ball and something. Like it does happen. And in the lab's case, his start to life as a Chelsea player was actually excellent. won a Club World Cup trophy with Chelsea until he got injured. I don't. If you're judging him by the games you could say he's played since his return from injury, then you're not being fair, and that's why I don't like you. All right. We're gonna say, seeing how defensive Arteta is when they are one goal up against any top six clubs, we cannot concede the first goal. I expect Caicedo to be put at right back and James in midfield. Recovery pace at fullback is key. Chances are we'd still see James in the mid. We'd still see Gus to play that game. James will still be on the pitch. It's here's the thing. I trust Enzo Maresca. I trust him to again. He probably will not be happy the way we performed against Arsenal last season. I get it. One of the games we drew 1-1. Yeah, I think we lost the other one. I think he'd do his homework. Hopefully, he doesn't overthink it. Um, much love, bro. Much love. I appreciate that. We've come a long way, which is why, yeah, every time go to Chelsea Perspective homepage, you see Ty as one of the channels I trust, and will wholeheartedly recommend to you to go watch his videos from an analytical perspective. Excellent, enjoyable. Thank you, Ty, for saying that. Weira says that the lab interlinking and hold up play is decent. Maybe hold up play aspect is the aspect he needs to improve upon, but interlinking, he's good, really. I would love to see Pedro given the motivation to change the game from the bench. We have the wingers to let him do so. Let's see. The manager does what he wants. Leaving 15 minutes from Chelsea. Wow, excellent. Are you a season ticket holder? Let's see. Chelsea women missing cities. I'm not watching them, but I just don't want a situation where I'll be saying every time Alyssa Thompson scores, we don't win. I hope I hope that doesn't happen. Let's see. First time TJ signature. Thank you for joining. Feel at home. You're welcome, bro. Much love. Um, how are we treating Palmer? I feel that we're not doing the same with Enzo. Okay. Discord is an anomaly, but Enzo is human. Him being half fit and starting in the pivot is not healthy for our games. That's deep, really. That's deep and interesting. The fact that he finished our last game and had to be excused from Argentina international assignment because he wasn't fully fit, which means, yeah, he played our last game while not fully fit. So it's a huge risk. I don't know. But the question is, he's so unique that we don't have too many players capable of fulfilling his role. Maybe Andreas Sanchez in the future, in a few months, will be able to mature into that role. I think, irrespective of how you compare him, how he compares it to Enzo Fernandez, he doesn't have Enzo Fernandez's vision. He doesn't. Uh, give me a second here. I'm sorry, one of my boys woke up and was in the office with me, so I apologize, guys. So let me see. I mean, the issue is that Andreas Santos, as good as he is, um, I don't think not quite there in terms of fulfilling the Enzo Fernandez role as effective as Enzo Fernandez would. I've seen people compare them even before Andrea Santos returned from Strasbourg. I've seen people talk about how he'd come take Enzo Fernandez's place and that be it for Enzo Fernandez. And I told them, look, they're not the same. They're not the same. Andrea Santos more defensively solid than Enzo Fernandez. Probably might not be accurate actually. If numbers might say otherwise, but I test say defensively more solid than Enzo Fernandez. Let's go with eye test, but numbers might tell a different story. Here's the thing: in terms of vision, he doesn't come close to Enzo Fernandez until proven otherwise. I'm, I'm not sure how else to say this. So maybe because we don't have any other player capable of fulfilling the Enzo Fernandez role and as effective as he does. And have you noticed how much running he does? Yeah, he runs more than any of our other, again, more than every other player we have in the squad. So I don't know. I think the uniqueness is what makes it difficult to drop him in certain games. But eventually, um, we will get to a point where we'll have, again, Andres Santos will be ready to fulfill that role to the satisfactory. What big satisfaction, or maybe to the satisfaction of the manager, maybe. Let's see. Each one teaches one. Yeah, 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 yeah. 1 second. Yeah, give me 1 second. Apologies, guys. It's going to be very difficult from now on because, yeah, they're all waking up. Caicedo is an anomaly. Yep. The only thing you can say about Caicedo, we have, yeah, this person is closest to Caicedo, but not Caicedo. Come on, you Blues, let's go! HNL Edits, thank you for joining the conversation. I do hope you're doing well. How we treating Parma? I feel we're not doing the same with Enzo Caicedo. I think I've read that already. Yeah, coach. Even in the Club World Cup, the lab was moving sketches. Some of us preferred and still prefer João Pedro over him instead of a natural striker. I mean, he's more of a traditional striker, but again, he's able to apply himself in a hybrid manner because he is equipped to do so. But I understand your point. The lab wouldn't be benched too much at City. Pep let him go because he couldn't guarantee first team minutes, not because he wasn't ready. So I guess us fans are saying he shouldn't need time. I mean, irrespective of how good you are, the manager's approach could mean, yeah, you need time. And we have a very idealistic manager in Enzo Maresca. Everything is, you could say, has a pattern to a T. I get it. We play with a fluid approach, but a lot of the things we do has a pattern. So that's why it's not really a player adapting to the way Maresca likes to approach a game doesn't happen overnight. You need time to adapt. The team is struggling without some care. Kerr. How do you some Kerr? Is that how you pronounce her last name? Wow. Enzo too crucial. Very, very important. I think a lot of people have learned to respect him. Even when he has Houston, I think the last term, was it like the game against Sunderland or which one? Which you could say that game, how numbers, the difference between what numbers say and what eye tests say, uh that day taught a lot of people that you need both. You need numbers, you need eye tests. They both complement each other to get a good idea with regards to how a player performed in a certain game. If you go with one, sometimes you get it very wrong. Yeah. Enzo doesn't have Santos's tackling ability. Yeah, you can say that. But you can argue at this moment he reads the game better, even though he's not the quickest. But on his day, he can contribute a lot defensively. And engine, Santos doesn't have Enzo's passing range and vision. Yep, good understanding. But I'm talking about making sure our starting 11 isn't choking or half fit, which is a huge risk, which is why Maresca tries to rotate as much as he can. Yeah. Enzo is better for us, especially his IQ to relay Maresca's tactics, his tactical flexibility, not you could say his ability, you could say to what's the language I'm looking for? I think you can let's use the language he used there or term. His tactical IQ is excellent, and which is why Maresca loves him. Yeah, and we've always known that he was never going to again that he'd end up becoming Maresca's most important player. That was when at the time when Maresca dropped him and was fielding Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo. People that did not understand what was going on at the time thought, yeah, that was it. Enzo is done. But that's down to lack of understanding of what the manager was doing at the time. What happened at the time, we were scoring goals. I think a lot of goals at the time, but we were conceding a lot. And we have serious defensive issues at the time. And what Enzo Maresca did was genius. He realized that the best way to start solving the problem was to start fielding a more a defensive minded 2 6s, and not a defensive, not the pairing of Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. And the moment he did that in a few games at the time, we stopped conceding less. But here's the downside to that change at the time. Irrespective of whether Enzo Fernandez had, you could say, tons of assists or not at the time, he was pivotal to our offensive play. Either by dictating, you could say, our transition, or maybe finding the guy further forward with a long ball or so. He was doing it effectively. So in his absence at the time, yes, truthfully, we had 2 6s at the time that were better at protecting our defensive line, but we started scoring less goals because of his absence. Not because he was our top scorer, because he was our top creator, but there are other things he does at the time that he did at the time. He used to do at the time, maybe he does on the pitch that aids our transitional play or our attacking plays. So, but we knew that Maresca will eventually bring him back once he sorts out, excuse me, at the leaky defensive line. And lo and behold, the moment he stabilized at the defensive aspect of our play, he brought him back, and he's been a mainstay ever since. So, the Paul did most of the running playing alongside Enzo for Argentina. Enzo is known for his athleticism, but more so for his ball playing ability at Benfica. Enzo lasting 90 minutes constantly is a bonus. Yeah, I agree. And Jay says Arsenal next 3, Tottenham, Bayern, Chelsea, next 3, Burnley, Barca, Arsenal. We can literally replace Arsenal at the end of the month. And you're praying for that to happen. It's important that you pray that it happens. Weaver says Car is 30. We have Beaver Jones and Ramirez. When last Ramirez, she's not been scoring a lot of late, but her start to life as a Chelsea player was, my goodness, it was something else. And Macario, we shouldn't be sentimental towards that Australian coming off an injury. All right, let's see. Is Kerr Australian? All right, I don't know. I think let me see if anything new emerged as the show progressed before we call it a day. Yep, it's a Sunday, so we're going beyond 1 hour plus. And this being on a school day, yeah, I'd be gone by now because definitely had will go help my boys get ready for school. But it's been an enjoyable conversation, and I love interacting with you guys. Okay, first half. All right, let's see. I refreshed it. Let's see if anything new emerged. A 10-year-old Estevão overshadowed Vini and Rodrigo. Those two, in terms of you could say skill set, they can't measure him. They're just more experienced, honestly. Yeah, Enzo isn't defensively sound. He's not. Yeah, to be playing in a pivot, but him coming off the bench to take advantage of tired legs would be a master stroke. Caicedo and Santos to lock down the back line in the meantime. Even Santos, for me, I need to see it. For instance, Santos alone with any other player other than Caicedo wouldn't be enough in terms of screening or maybe shielding our defensive line. Yeah, Santos is more of a hybrid of eight, a hybrid of 8 and 6. Jay, you're going to that H negative place, and I'm not coming with you. I'm not. I am definitely not coming with you to that H negative place. I'm not. I'm definitely not coming with you, man. In the words of the wise, Bobby Santos is lightweight. Him and George bench players. All right, let's see if anything new emerges as the show progress. I'm quite sure probably we'll be seeing a lot of Vince. Yeah, I know. A lot of them. Sometimes they speak in parable. I'm not reading that I'm bent shit. All right, for me, I'd say definitely Cole Palmer is definitely Thomas Tuchel's type of player. If he can prove that he's fully fit by the time Maresca, Thomas Tuchel um, selects his by the time Thomas Tuchel selects his World Cup squad, he's definitely gonna be there. He's unique. He's proven that England doesn't have similar player. He proved that on that Gareth Northgate, and I never liked that because I'm an England fan. I didn't like Gareth Southgate as England manager at the time. So, but that's by the way, nothing new emerged. I think it's about time we call it a day. It's been an excellent discussion, and I want to say thank you for Jay for joining the conversation. Thank you to Shanks, my bro. Thank you for the juice you sent. I appreciate that. Thank you to Wera, always participating. I appreciate you. Tyrant FX, thank you for joining the conversation too. Shanks, who else was here? HNL Edits, thank you for joining the conversation. And TJ, a signature service, thank you for joining. Chelsea session in my bro Ty was here. What else do we have here? And we have Mabas05. Thank you for joining the conversation. Lateness is greatness, but I'm gonna run. If Palmer is fit for Barca and Arsenal games, we take a minimum of 4 points. Yep, I agree. But that's by the way, thank you. It's been an excellent conversation. And if I missed your name, Apologies. See you guys next time. God bless us all and cheers.
Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights.